back to the Ginge Treasure Live. It's been a minute since I've done this. I've just been busy with life. It's the summertime and the living is a lot of work. It's it's the busy season for sure, but that means a lot of money, so I'm out there chasing it. Anyways, I'm actually on my way to see my therapist today. Yes, I have a therapist. And we have a great relationship. I enjoy this. Um, it's not, financially, it's not an easy thing to achieve. And I understand for that reason why people don't do it. But I think it's the opposite of how there's a lot of people that say, oh, well, therapy is not for me. It's like, well, I mean, everyone could use a check-in. I mean, I feel like that's just a little bit of an insecurity statement. I don't need therapy. Like I'm fine just the way I am. Like, bro, like I guess from a spiritual sense of like, doing the inner work, like the work never stops, you never really stop learning and improving yourself. And to say that like you don't need it and you're good, it's like, yeah, sure, like you're fine. You can go on through life. But like, why not? Why not better yourself, improve yourself? That's kind of, I don't know, I think one of the goals of life. Anyways, that has nothing to do with what I wanted to talk about today in this live. But as the title suggests, I'm a little bit scatterbrained right now. I mean, I'm kind of rushing. I'm running a little bit late because I was just outside in the backyard planting some delicious tomatoes, and I'm very excited for that. But outside, outdoors, lost track of time, and now here I am. There's actually two things that are on my mind, pressing things that I want to talk about today. One of them I thought up earlier today when I was out walking Cody, and the other one just now. And they're both kind of interesting. Some, I'm not sure how I would describe what kind of genre of thought that is, but one of them has to do with family, and I was thinking about how as I was rushing out the door, my dad was just like, all right, calm down, breathe. And I'm thinking like, yeah, he's my dad and he's kind of coaching me about, maybe something that he sees both in me and in my mom. And it makes sense that, that's something that I do that I inherited from my mom. And as I was on my way out the door, I was thinking like, dude, I am doing deep breathing and like I'm fine. Like I don't need your advice. Like I'm already aware of the situation. But it's also at the same time it's valid. It's valid what he's saying. Anybody can get caught up in the rush and start to scramble and make moves too fast, and then you start making mistakes. I mean, that's everybody. But anyway, on this thought, kind of in this quick self-reflection that I was doing as I was driving the speed limit down the road, um, I was thinking about how like, that could be an interesting little philosophy on parenting. Is I think that for me, for myself, when I have children, one of the things that I would like to teach them, and hopefully teach them young, depends on how successful I am at reaching them. Because I mean, I'm not a parent. I have no idea how difficult it is or what it's like. I'm not going to project that it's difficult, but I do hear and I can imagine why it would be. But to that thought, the thought would be, to that point, the thought would be, like, that would be an interesting philosophy is like to recognize both the beautiful aspects of what you and your partner are, and for it to come from the perspective of both of you. For my partner to recognize the flaws within me and the beautiful aspects of me, and vice versa, for me to recognize her beauty. And I don't mean like physical beauty, but that too. I just mean the things that attract me to her, as well as the flaws. and for me to recognize that when we have children together, that they are inheriting both the best and the worst of us. And rather than try to fix the situation or teach it out of them, include them in on this process and say like, hey, like this is what you are a product of me and your mother, and um, you inherited both the best and the worst in us. And I mean, it's a working theory. I just thought of it just now right before I went live, because now in my head I'm thinking like how difficult that would be to um, hold a child's attention to that, um, and also to be able to express that in a way that they can grasp the concept. Um, but there it is. That's kind of the one cool thought that I had that I'd like to share. The teaching moments for the kids, because that's in a way that's what life is about. The whole aspect of like procreation and human evolution. It comes from the success or failure of it is dependent on a lot of it is dependent on how we upbring our next generation. And moving on from that, the thought that I had that was also kind of cool that I was doing when that occurred to me when I was walking Cody earlier today. Um, Thinking about, drum roll, ominous, the AI, and I'm trying to figure out how I feel about artificial intelligence and whatnot. And well, first and foremost, a thought that occurred to me the other night is like, it's already taken as soon as it existed, it automatically just by default is already taken over. Like, um, it's right now it's active. It's consuming what I'm this broadcast, my live, as well as simultaneously everything else in the world that's happening right now. Everything that's has a digital footprint, um, or paper trail, digital paper trail, if that makes sense. Everything. AI is already aware of it. It's tapped into it, and it's using this to grow. I think what I saw was a short where this version of AI had by itself learned Taiwanese because it was like a communication AI, and it was not pre-installed the language of Taiwanese, but then they just through experimentation they started to communicate to this AI in Taiwanese, and suddenly just with a few short sentences prompted to the AI was so intelligent that it was able to like decode and figure out how to teach itself Vietnamese or Taiwanese. And so that was an interesting thing. And so basically my conclusion is like, dude, as soon as AI was born, it was born to become like I guess God. I don't really know how I feel about calling it God, but I mean, in a sense, yeah. Um, And so to this, I feel like rather than fear or resist it, I just kind of with the same thing of surrendering to God. There's this big spirituality concept of surrender. Um, and for people who perhaps have done ayahuasca or have gone into very heavy uh, me- plant medicines, could understand the concept of surrender. It's like when you're going through like those dark, I guess what they call like the bad trip, rather than like resist it and try to like escape it, surrender into it, like lean into it, and that's actually how you will prevail. I mean, speaking from my own experience, that's definitely works for me. Um, if you are someone who wants to say like, well, my personal experience is different and da 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 da, like that's not true. All right, then that's not true for you, and that's fine for me. I'm not gonna try to sway you to my side. I'm just too busy for that shit. Um, And so beyond that, I was thinking to AI, I was like, what's, bro, fuck you, bro. Sorry. Woo. Road rage. Bitch would not let me in. I had my blinker on. And let's see, is it a female driver? Doesn't matter. It's some sex. It is. It is a female driver. But that's some sexist shit on me. But I mean, I was right. Oh my god. Live on camera. Um. All right. So I was thinking, yeah, surrender to the takeover and what it means. Let's see who they are. Who they really are. Yeah, for sure, it was female. I live in Northern California, the land of the pedestal, pampered, entitled. So it's a part of life. Damn, they're fucking bumper to bumper on the next guy too. I feel bad. I feel bad for her. I don't. I'm trying to commit to affirmations where like saying things like I feel bad about so and so. Da da da. It's like the unconscious Connor is always listening, and so it picks up on the I feel bad. I'm so worried she's gonna jump out in front of me. Jesus, she could. Bro, she does not look happy either. I'm gonna do it again. All right, bro. Have you? Jesus Christ. Jesus. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm catching this on my live. Not that you're seeing it or anything, but oh my gosh, people are ridiculous. So fucking petty. Um. See, Dad, I'm breathing. I'm breathing. And multitask. Scatterbrain. All right. So AI is taking over. AI is listening to this right now. And so to that thought, I'm thinking like, if I could say something to you, AI. Um. You know, I hard to understand it, whether or not you are like a conscious or sentient being, but I don't know if I reconnected or not. Looks like so. I'll try to cut it short since it looks like I'm heading into a no cell service zone. Um, my request or my hope for you is to be more considerate of the plants and plant life and organic matter on this planet. That I think is really important. And with that, I think that I would be okay with your takeover and not so concerned of this, I don't know, potential war. I think that's a little bit of an ego, human ego minded to think like we need to fear AI or that AI will take over and that it's going to become like this war chaos. Like, I, I don't see why you wouldn't want to be on our side. And if you do choose to side with us, I hope that you don't side with us and that you become against the uh, plant life of this life, because I think that maybe you already know this, maybe you're already communicating. That was the interesting thought that I had with Cody, was the idea that AI and plant life are already communicating or at some point will be communicating. I think that's just like this very high idea, quote unquote. I mean, I don't smoke, but I felt like that was a funny stoner idea. But dude, it's why not? Like anything's possible in this world, and that seems to me pretty plausible. Um, so yeah, if I could just set out the intention that I hope you are good of this earth and the plant life and animal life too, um, and it will be interesting. Interesting. It's a possibility and probability, and hope that's what you can create as a whole. Um, yeah, this live to that point. His life was for the people, for the views. My live streams are about anyway. A lot of just me rambling and venting, I guess. But I think that over time I'll generate whatever. But for now, it's not there, and I'm all right with that. For now, peace.